Hello everyone, I'm Daniel Cortez, energy healer, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the awakening in consciousness that it's occurring in humanity and in the planet currently. And as you may very well be aware of, the world has been in a deep change in the last few years. There's been a lot of disruption, particularly in the last couple of years. Um, Wars, pandemics, and our whole routines, habits really have been challenged. And you know, it is complicated in a way, but there's a higher viewpoint that I want for you to accompany me and to see into that, because this is really a spiritual transformation that it's occurring in the planet, and it is really exciting. It is really a big opportunity because it's basically the door for us to come home again, which is not going somewhere else, but inside our hearts, because that's where we connect to the all that is. And for some time, uh, these concepts regarding an awakening of consciousness have really gained popularity in the mainstream. However, as many know, different old cultures really knew that these times would come eventually. The famous example is the end of the Mayan calendar, in which they said that really an era would end on 2012. And in many ways it did. It's just that humanity has been on the process of catching up to the changes that energetically have been occurring even before that date, and then since that year onwards, really in a more accelerated manner. And really the way in which you can take advantage of the opportunistic side of these changes that are occurring is for you to ask the question, who am I? Because consider the metaphor of the cave of Plateau, in which the basic idea was that if you would live all your life in a cave and you only see shadows, and you were told this is a tree, this is a dog, the shadow, that's what you believed, that's all you knew. However, what happens in one day, you are free to get out of the cave, and you actually do, and you discover that reality is not what you thought it was. And the first thing that happens is the light generates discomfort on the eyes, because the eyes, even though they are made to see in the light of the day, never did see that light. So it's a growth period, really, what happens in the transition between being in the cave, in the shadows, and stepping outside of the cave into the light. And that's really a very good image of what's happening to a lot of us, and how the process works in many ways, because it's really discovering a level of freedom that we didn't know we possess, level of power that we didn't know we had, because you are the creator of your own reality. The reality that you experience, it is the reflection of the beliefs that you hold, of the things that you think, and the emotions that you feel. However, we have been conditioned to think otherwise. We consider that our beliefs are based on reality, and that we think the way we do because things are the way they are, and that we feel the way we feel because of the circumstances that we experience and because of the world around us. But the opposite is true. What you believe, what you think, what you feel, where your attention is, the universe mirrors that back to you 100%. It's what is known as law of attraction. And that really challenges a lot of our mental concepts because it challenges the fact that we consider that we are victims of the world, that we are victims of our circumstances. And this change of perspective doesn't take away your pain, your difficult and challenging experiences. You know, what you've experienced is what you've experienced. But it is an invitation and it is a great opportunity because it's the opportunity to experience a different story. Story in which there is light, there is freedom, there is a more accurate way to understand and experience your world, the universe, your reality. And there's a lot more choice available. You really step into your power and into the freedom that it's inherent to you. So basically, the way that you align with the opportunity side of this is by asking yourself the question, who am I? And you know, in the complex world in which we have lived, a lot of times there's not much room for asking ourselves that question, who am I? Where do I come from? Where am I going? Why am I here? In the day to day, you know, trying to make ends meet, trying to survive, and being really in the noise of the world, really being another brick in the wall, and just fulfilling the role that the world has given us, fulfilling the expectations of our parents, our family, our culture, our teachers, preachers, ministers, etc., 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 our friends, our communities. We have lost ourselves, but really the disruption that has been going on in the world for a lot of people has been the opportunity to make a pause and in our lives to consider these questions that have always been there inside our hearts. Only there's not been so much room to attend to and give attention to them. But when you ask yourself, when you really have the clear intention, the desire to answer the question, who am I? I want to know myself. You are aligning with the source of all that is, which wanted to know itself. And here you are, trying to answer that question and trying to go back home, which is not in another place, not in another, you know, world, but it is here and now, in this physical reality, in this physical body. But when you awaken your consciousness, you really open yourself up to the bigger you, to the aspect of you that is in non-physical, that many people know as your higher self. You open yourself to your soul, what other people also call your inner being, which is the wiser, broader aspect of yourself that really is in alignment with your true essence, with uh, your your intentions for being here. And it's really a fascinating experience. It is really a fascinating journey. And if you are watching this video, it's because you are in alignment with this message. And I invite you to align yourself more consciously with answering that question: who am I? Because when you intend it, when you focus your attention upon your intention, you will get an answer. And I assure you, you will be very pleased when you discover who you truly are. Many blessings.